I want to start with a simpler router. The first example here from the quick start. So I've copied and pasted all of this code here, and you can see it running here. We've got 3 different routes, and they're all represented up here. So this is the code, and what we want to do is remove React Router from it, and we're going to do it ourselves. First, we're going to delete this router component. It's just a context provider, but don't worry if you don't know what that means. We just don't need it. These, to me, look like a bunch of anchor tags. So let's copy them in. Okay, so we're just going to hope that works. So this is the tricky part. How do we render different components for different routes? What we need is the path name from the window location object. Window location represents the current URL in the address bar, and path name is just one of many different segments of this URL. We've got port, which would be 3000 in this case. We've got host name, which would be localhost in this case. And path name, which comes right after the port number, and the path name is always going to include a leading slash even if the URL in the address bar doesn't. We're switching on this string, and if it equals this, then we go home, and blah blah blah, and if in our default case we also go home. So now we just need to render that here. And voila! We've just made a router from scratch. However, there's a problem here. When we click, it refreshes. See that? So, you can imagine if we have any state inside the app, I'm just adding a button and use state from React. So, we've got some state here. We're incrementing this simple counter. And if we go to a different route, it resets our state because we are refreshing the page. The topic of our next video is going to be how to change the path name without refreshing the page. So stay tuned.